What's good, homies? Welcome back to another episode in our Parramatta Career Mode series. We are in the third round of the NRL competition, and unfortunately we're coming into this game riding back-to-back losses to start the season. With that being said, here's a look at today's lineup. There have been a couple of changes that we were forced to make due to injuries and suspensions. Starting off the back five after a heroic effort by Will Smith, playing pretty much injured for the last quarter of the match. He's out for 2 weeks, so we've moved Bevan French to fullback and replacing Bevan French's spot on the wing, we've brought in George Jennings. As for our other changes, they took place in the front row and on the bench with Tim Manor, our captain. It says suspended for 1 match there, but I'm pretty sure it was a 3-game suspension. So taking his spot in the front row is Junior Paulo, and taking his spot on the bench, I've decided to go with Silsaya Vave. So, our opponents for today in round 3, as you can see, are the Gold Coast Titans. Now, something to note about this lineup is that Alex Glenn was rumoured to move to Gold Coast for 2019, and those rumours obviously weren't true, so he's in the lineup. Unfortunately, I forgot to put him back into the Broncos before I started the new career. Our first set of the match will come on the back of a penalty here, and it puts us in a great position to score some points within the first few minutes of the game. On the first tackle, as we shifted between playmakers, and it's going to be Moses getting wrapped up outside our 10. A little short ball to Gutho as we try to spread it wide to Takairangi, and Takairangi's going to get pulled down, still outside the 10. Both playmakers on the left, Moses running onto it, runs into a brick wall as he gets stopped on the 10-meter line. Our attack early on is looking a little woeful, I'll admit, as both playmakers set up to the right. We go with Moses with the chip over the top, and just like that, we score the first try of the game. It was an okay try, I guess. That was always going to be the play, is to try and shift the defense one way and chip against the grain, and fortunately for us, it worked the charm and got us on the board. Back with the action. Almost 20 minutes in, Gutherson gets wrapped up outside our 20. On the third, we send it to Brown, and Brown's going to get pulled down on the 30, or just before the 30. Back to Gutherson, looking for a 40-20. He gets tackled, we lose it forward, and we get pinged for a high tackle, which is, I guess, not that bad of an outcome if I'm honest. Giving away the 2 points instead of defending a full set on our line. Also, it's still pretty early in the game. It's like I said, it's a decent outcome as we try to run it out with Ferguson. We get pulled down just outside the 10. Bevan French running onto it with the beautiful stiff arm or a fend as he breaks away 2 defenders. A rare sight when you're playing on a veteran and above. As we send it to Gutherson, a nice ball to Takairangi, puts him through the gap, steps his way around Arthurs, who I'll admit wasn't the fullback I was expecting. It was Gordon, but I guess Gordon's injured. But we're with Gutherson anyway, and it's going to be Manu Mao gives Proctor the big don't argue as he crosses the line for our second try of the match. A great way to end a pretty huge set, a lot of meters made, and we still had a couple tackles up our sleeve. As Moses converts the try, he puts us out to a 10-point lead heading into the break. That was a pretty decent first half of footy, plenty of points scored compared to our first 2 games, where it was pretty evident that we kinda struggled to get the ball rolling early on in the match. As we start the second half off with an error, Titans in a great position here. They've got a full set up their sleeve on our 20-meter line as they go wide to Roberts to Proctor, and Proctor with the post-contact meters, we actually decide to give a penalty away, which is a little tactic you could use if you're not confident in your defense. And as you can see, my defense, or my goal line defense, has been garbage to start the season, so we bit the bullet, gave the penalty away, and now we are approaching the 60th minute of the match. We've got Penny Terapo here running onto it, a nice little fend, then he gets driven backwards to end the tackle. On the second, we send it to Gutho. Gutho with the beautiful short ball to Bevan French. And French is going to get locked up just past halfway. On the third, inside the final 20 minutes of the match, it's going to be Queso Pritchard taking the tackle for us. On the fourth, I tried running an inside play, but the ball ends up in Vave's hands and he gets drilled in the tackle, ends up losing it forward. As Jai Arrow goes on a tear through the middle, he gets pulled down inside the 30. Second tackle, we D up pretty well here. I thought there was a knock on, but it must have came off one of our players, and it ends up with the new Gold Coast recruit Shannon Boyd just strolling over the line for their first try of the match. I must say I'm pretty keen to see how the Titans do in real life. They've got a pretty solid lineup. I mean, on paper they look good, and even their buys for 2019 are pretty decent. Anyway, that's going to conclude this video here. We do get our first dub of the season, defeating the Gold Coast Titans 12 points to 10. Make sure if you want to participate in the comment section down below, be sure to vote for who you thought were the players of the match. I usually just tally up the votes after the video goes live, and I reveal the people's choice with a little edit of that player at the end of the regular season. If you enjoy the Rugby League content, or if you want more content in general, slap that like button. And if you're not supporting a creator in Fortnite, my Fortnite creator code is OddSquad, ODDSQUAD. There will be a V-Buck giveaway coming pretty soon. And as always, if you made it this far into the video, hit up that comment section with the hashtag OddSquad. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later.